Hi, my name is Natalie and I've been practicing and teaching tantric meditations for the past 10 years. On my YouTube channel, I talk about working with the sexual energy in a different way. I know a lot of the men following me have started to do these practices. Some were already doing them before. And yes, some of these men are single, but some of these men are in relationships. Some are married, some just have girlfriends. And a lot of these men have been asking me, what do I do with my girlfriend? How do I bring in the practices that I'm doing into my relationships, into the sexual interactions that I'm having with women or, with other individuals? And I wanted to talk about that today and give a few tips. First of all, I wanted to remind everyone watching these videos, the point isn't to ejaculate or not to ejaculate. That's not the point, that's not the issue. I feel like people are talking about that too much or dealing with that a bit too much and putting too much focus on that. The point is, how long can I stay present in the sexual vibration, in the sexual energy? So how long from erection to ejaculation? How do I feel in between? Am I relaxed? Am I present? Am I comfortable? Am I communicating with myself or with someone else? So the point isn't to ejaculate or not ejaculate. The point is to be present and feel comfortable in the sexual energy. Saying that, yes, ejaculations do waste a lot of our life force energy. So every time you ejaculate, you are losing a lot of your life force energy. So you might be trying to ejaculate less, and then instead of ejaculating, maybe bring the sexual energy in and up in the body. That is an amazing thing to do. That is what I teach. That is what I think every man should do. Besides maybe once or twice a month where you do want to ejaculate to kind of clear the water, of the emotions in the body and just clear some of the energy out of your body, which is fine. A lot of men who are practicing, tantric masturbation, they are keeping the sexual energy inside their body. They're transmuting and transforming the sexual energy into life force energy, which is amazing. Then I come and I have sex with a woman, my wife, my partner, my girlfriend, whoever. And one of the things these women expect a man to do during sex is to ejaculate. Why do they need the man to ejaculate? It's not like we need them to, but it is expected because it is a sign that, he had a good time, he's enjoying himself. So we kind of need that approval sometimes with the ejaculation. And then some women might think that if their man didn't ejaculate during sex, maybe he doesn't love her anymore. Maybe he's not attracted to her anymore. Maybe he's going to leave her. Maybe he doesn't enjoy the sex with her anymore and he's going to leave her. So you can understand that a man not ejaculating during sex can trigger a lot of abandonment issues that women have with themselves and, in different relationships that they have. So we want to be aware of that. And then we want to learn how to communicate, because we are not keeping in the orgasm or keeping in the sexual energy because we're not attracted to her or because we don't love her. We're doing that in order to be better men, in order to be more confident with ourselves, to value ourselves more, to feel better inside of our body, to have clearer, more loving thoughts inside of our head. So we're doing this for all the good reasons, all the amazing reasons, and all the amazing benefits we will get from preserving and keeping the sexual energy, but we don't want to trigger our partner with that, her abandonment issues, and they do make sense. It's okay that she has them. Another reason that we need men to ejaculate is when men ejaculate, there is a hormone that creates, this is oxytocin. It creates that feeling of attachment. And again, abandonment issues, we want to feel that the man is attached to us, meaning he'll take responsibility, he'll take care of us, he won't leave us. So there are many different reasons why women need men to ejaculate. But if those women knew what you were doing, they knew that you do love them, you do want to be with them, you are attracted to them, but you want to keep the sexual energy, you want to transmute it, you want to transform it, you want to be a better man for her and for yourself. If you communicate it in the right way, she won't only be bummed that you don't orgasm, but she would also help you in the process and kind of give you assurance and maybe say, well done when you didn't orgasm, and just, be happy with you and the sexual energy and just have a good time without reaching that place of peak of orgasm, of ejaculation. So I do think it's a matter of communicating it. I think a lot of men and women don't really understand this practice and why we're doing it, so we might have to explain it to them. And maybe we can kind of tell her, this is what I've been practicing, this is what I've been doing, this is how it's making me feel. Can you help me with this practice? When we have sex next time, can you go a bit slower? Can you do some of the breathing techniques with me? Can you not drive me towards the orgasm? Because that is also something that women might do. And that could happen, again, for various reasons, but some women don't really enjoy sex or are not connected to their sexual energy. And then they want the man to come or to orgasm just so the sex ends, so let's just get it over with. If that's the case, maybe that's also something you want to communicate, because that can't be a nice feeling where I'm doing something with you that I feel like we both enjoy and we both are participating, but actually you're just doing that for me. And I don't think that is a nice feeling for any man to feel during sex. So that's something that might come up, but it's something that we might want to talk about. And another thing I wanted to add is, if you are doing these practices, then maybe you can bring the practices into your sexual life, meaning have sex that's not orgasm oriented, like that's not the goal. Maybe have sex without penetration for a while. Yes, don't penetrate your partner. Do everything else, but just don't penetrate. And working with the sexual energy, transmuting it, does do something to that hunger a lot of men feel, and slowly they become less hungry. But doesn't mean that they don't want to have sex anymore. It just means that sex drive isn't the one that's pushing them. It means that, yes, I can have sex, but it's okay if we don't. Yes, I would like to penetrate you, but it's okay if we don't. And we want to come with that more relaxed vibe into the sexual interaction. So this is a good thing for everyone. So tantric couples or men who want to introduce Tantra to their wives or to their spouses, to their girlfriends, which is something that I do recommend doing, meaning if you're only doing the self practices, maybe it's time you start bringing it into your relationship, because the practices is something that she can do too, and it's something that we can also do together. So we can slow everything down, put the penetration aside, maybe do some breath work together. And a tip that I have, if you want to introduce your partner to this type of work, would be a tantric exercise that we give to couples sometimes, where one of the partners is completely passive, lying on their back naked. Preferably start with the woman laying on her back, completely naked, eyes closed, shavasana, dead woman pose, and just tell her to do some deep breaths, and then you place your hands on different areas of her body and you just breathe with her. And you just breathe with her. And for that, you have to follow her breathing. You have to listen to her. You have to look at her. And then you have to be with her and breathe in and out at the same pace that she does. And maybe you can move your hands around different areas of the body. But the type of touch we're talking about isn't something that's taking from her, but it's giving to her. So I'm not concentrated in, when is she going to touch me? When is she going to pleasure me? When is it my turn? No, this exercise is one-sided. She's the one lying down. She's the one receiving the touch, receiving the pleasure, receiving the love, and she doesn't have to give anything back, so you don't even have to be worried about it in your mind. This is not going to sex. Will be no penetration. You can even stay with your clothes on. These are very small things, but they're very significant because they will make a woman feel more comfortable. And when she feels more comfortable, she'll be able to relax and release and kind of let go. And that's what we want for women, because a lot of the times they're very stressed and very tensed because of past experiences, because of childhood issues, because of a lot of reasons. But, a woman who's not connected to her sexuality deep inside of her wants to be. She just doesn't know how, and she's very closed off there. So as her partner, we want to kind of help her open up in that way. So she's lying on her back, you're touching her, you're breathing with her, breathing her too, because you're helping her breathe. And you can go all around her body, and then towards the end, if she wants, you can touch her vajayjay. It's not like it's not allowed, but we definitely don't want to start from that area of the body. We don't want it to be a must. We don't have to touch that area. In the end, we can just hug and breathe together and talk about what we experienced. Then the next time you do it, you can do a reversed session where you're the one lying down, the man is lying naked, and she's giving that kind of touch. This is an introduction to Tantra, especially for men who have been practicing this by themselves. one important thing that I will say again, talk to her about it. Communicate what you're doing. What you're doing is amazing. What you're doing is great. If all the men do it, it's going to change the world. There is nothing to be ashamed of these practices. There's no reason to hide them. There is no reason to feel bad about them. This is something to talk about. We are trying to be better men, better people. We are trying to save our life energy and transmute it into amazing things in our life. There is nothing here to be ashamed of. There's no reason not to share this practice with your partner, teach them how to do it, and then to do it together. I understand that a lot of couples don't communicate at all in regards to sexuality. So they'll talk about everything, but they won't talk about the sex that they're having. If you started to practice, working with your sexual energy and these tantric masturbations, this is actually a good opportunity to kind of open up that subject, open that topic up. Let's talk about it. I watch these videos, these videos on YouTube. Yeah, this is what I've been doing. These are the practices. This is how it's helped me. And maybe we can start bringing it into our sex lives. Maybe you can start doing some of the practices. So we're not doing anything wrong. We're doing something amazing. And we should be telling as many people as we can. But because it's around sexuality, and we feel all this shame and all this guilt, and we feel wrong, even if we're doing something good, then we usually keep it to ourselves, we hide it, we don't talk about it, and then things start to get weird. So if we don't want things to get weird, this is a time to open up the conversation, open up with your partner, start telling her, talk to her about it. The last thing I wanted to say is, some men are afraid that their women, their wives, will be resistant to this kind of work because she's not sexual. She doesn't connect to sexuality. She's just not like that. She won't understand. She won't be open to it. And if that's the case, maybe you don't have to tell her everything all at once or in the beginning, but you can just suggest, let's, try something that I saw online and do the exercise that I talked about and help her go into that state of quietness, of peacefulness, of kind of relaxing the body. You don't even have to tell her it's Tantra or meditation or anything like that. You can just let's try something new. And I meet in my day-to-day people who come to me for sessions, and many of them don't know meditation. They don't know how to breathe. Some of them don't even connect to it. It does not interest them at all. But I still find the way to bring them in and to help them practice without knowing that they're practicing. So it will just by touching them and breathing with them and just relaxing with them together. So if there is a will, there is always a way. And if this practice, if these practices with the sexual energy have transformed you, have changed your life, but you don't know how to bring it into your relationship, then this is the time. And it starts with communicating, talking to her about it, and it can open up a whole new level in your relationship and help you become closer to each other in sex and in life. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope these tips have helped. Please let me know in the comments if they have. And if you have any questions around these issues, these topics, just any questions in general, please put them in the comments. I do try and answer all of your questions with these videos that I make. And I don't know, thank you again for watching and listening and practicing. And I appreciate you. And, good job. Keep on going. We have this. We're going to change everything. We're going to change the world. We're going to change ourselves. Person after person, practice after practice, slowly but surely we will get there. So thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video.